The next proclamation is Domestic Violence Awareness Month.
Representative Canales.
Proclamation, City of El Paso, Texas. Whereas domestic violence is a serious public health problem that affects millions of people each year. And whereas the problems of domestic violence are not confined to any group or groups of people, but cut across all economic, racial, and societal barriers, and are supported by societal indifferences. And whereas in the 2022-2023 fiscal year, the Center Against Sexual and Family Violence received 6,363 calls on the Crisis Hope Line, of which 4,128 were directly related to domestic violence, an 88% increase compared to last fiscal year. They provided shelter to a total of 839 residents, advocated for an additional 3,028 victims at the Family Resource Center, and provided over 3,800 hours of individual therapy. And whereas we urge all members of the community to join the Center Against Sexual and Family Violence in supporting victims and survivors of domestic violence. We can all make a difference by speaking up against abuse. We encourage victims to reach out for help and know that they are not alone. And whereas the City of El Paso recognizes the month of October as Domestic Violence Awareness Month and urges all citizens to actively participate in scheduled activities and programs to work toward improving victim safety and holding perpetrators of domestic abuse accountable for their actions against individual victims and our society as a whole. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed by the Mayor and Council of the City of El Paso that the month of October shall be known as Domestic Violence Awareness Month, signed by our Honorable Mayor, Oscar Leeser.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Mayor. Good morning, City Council. It's an honor to be with you here this morning. I'm Senator Nevares Garcia. I'm the Executive Director for the Center. And with me, behind me, I can see on the screens, we have some of our staff that does the work daily, working with our survivors in our community. As you just mentioned, the issue of domestic violence has not been cured. We continue to do our work. We've been in the community for over 45 years. And continue to provide those services to those survivors in our community for El Paso, Hudspeth, and Culberson counties. The individuals that we serve are struggling right in our communities. And so oftentimes we use this month to be able to project out as much information as possible. It continually happens that people tell us, I didn't know that there was that service. I didn't know that this was a resource. And unfortunately, it's a common problem with our particular victimization, if you will. Individuals that know of us is because they're either interested in the work that we do, have had some sort of individual affected by it or are personally affected by it, or have come across us in some other way. And so we utilize this month to do a projection of different activities. We started our month with a fall festival. One of the things that the center prides itself on is creating new memories for our families and their children. And so we work closely together with our emergency shelter and our family resource center to create those different opportunities for those individuals and show them what an activity not involved with violence looks like for them. Because oftentimes when you talk to them about specific holidays and memorable events, a lot of our victims connect those with some sort of violent interaction with their partner or spouse. And so with that, we are asking for a few things of our community. So one, become more informed about what domestic violence looks like. It does have there's verbal, emotional, sexual, and physical abuse. We ask you to talk to your friends and family members. If you see something doesn't feel right, it probably is because it's not right. And so we have a 24-hour hope line, which is that 593-7300 number that anyone can call 24 hours a day. It's completely confidential, just to get information about the services that we provide and what that might look like for your loved one. We ask you to support any type of domestic violence organizations by volunteering, donating. As you know, any nonprofit needs all types of help. And so we provide everything from A to Z in the sense of a person comes in and they're provided everything in our emergency shelter absolutely free. So everything from shampoo, conditioner, sanitary napkins, diapers, wipes, all those things, because we want to be able to be that safety net for that individual and have them focus on increasing their sense of safety and not have to worry about the bare essentials. Lastly, we come together in terms of making sure that we promote it, like I said, throughout the month. And so this Wednesday, actually tomorrow, we're featuring a movie which is called Alice Darling at Alamo Drafthouse on the Far East. You can go to our website if you're interested. Tickets will benefit the center, and obviously you can adopt a child to send them to the movies. But this movie I was really intrigued by it because it talks about when people say, like, why do they stay? Why is it that, I would have never been in that relationship. I would have never stayed that long. And this movie kind of really portrays how an individual who's been verbally victimized, the gravity of verbal emotional abuse, what that looks like before it even necessarily gets physical. So it kind of puts it into perspective, and it's usually we see all the physical attributes, but not the emotional and the verbal. So that's really unique to those different types of violences. The last thing that we'll also have is, as you know, Paso Giving Day is on October 19th. And so we'll be doing we're doing a big sort with the county attorney's office. We're doing different things to be able to promote individuals to come into the center to try to provide that support for our survivors and for the work that we're doing. And so again, I would just like to extend a thank you to all of you for continuing to allow us and invite us to be here, and your support just throughout the year, because it really just truly mean a lot to not only us as individuals, but I think the survivors in our community that we serve. So thank you.